Hello, everyone. You are listening to another episode of the Vet Care Training Podcast. Today, I am here with a special guest, Ilenia Perissinotto, who is a graduate of my program called the Cooperative Care Kick-Start. Ilenia joined this program to help her horse Freddy feel better about healthcare procedures. And today I will be asking her about how it went and how is she and Freddy doing today. So without further ado, welcome Ilenia here to the Vet Care Training Podcast. Hello, hello. And before we dive into this conversation, don't forget to subscribe for this podcast so that you can stay up to date with future episodes. I very much appreciate everyone who subscribes for the Vet Care Training Podcast because it helps the podcast grow, reach more people, and share this message with the horse world. So thank you again for subscribing, and now let's get to today's episode.
Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you, Katerina, for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. So, first, can you tell us a little bit about you and Freddy, and maybe for how long have you had him, or what's your story?
Yes, sure. So I started with horseback riding approximately like 20 years ago. I'm not from a typical horseback riding family, so I just started with a very traditional way, horseback riding in the horse schools, leasing horses, and all this kind of stuff. And my biggest wish was at some point to buy my own horse. Yeah, it took me like almost 20 years to like finally fulfill this biggest dream of myself and to finally buy the horse. And yes, I bought Freddy approximately 1 year ago. Of course, like I was looking a long time to find like the proper horse, and then finally I found Freddy. And yes, so I started working with him, and I bought him 1 year ago. And yeah, what I noticed from the very beginning, he was like trained with this very traditional, yeah, a lot of negative reinforcement, a lot of traditional way of like training the horses. And I noticed like he was having a lot of pressure, a lot of like negative things occurring when he saw like saddles or brushing or whatever and this kind of things. So like my focus was to learn this positive reinforcement, but I didn't have any trainers here, or was like really difficult to find people here around who are doing this positive reinforcement training.
Where are you
And
from exactly?
yeah, in Western Germany, in the
Uh-huh.
rural area. Yes. And here it's like very focused on negative reinforcement and not that many people working with the positive reinforcement. And my goal was that with cooperative care and with medical procedures, that he's like also having fun. Like
Uh-huh.
in his case, it was actually okay. He was not like that scared. He was like functioning basically when the vet was there. He was not like extremely difficult to handle. That was not the case, but he was not doing it like cooperatively in that case.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to improve and I wanted to make it like even better. And that was like a very great start, the program.
Oh, perfect. So Freddy was 5 years old when you first bought him, right?
Yes, he
Mm-hmm.
turned 5 the day he came here, basically. Yes.
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So, what was your primary motivation to join this program? What exactly did you want to work on, or to start with? Or you said that Freddy didn't have any problems, but was there anything special that you wanted to work on?
It seemed like he didn't have any issues first. Like, that's basically kind of the point. Like, with the vet, he was fine. But, like, as soon as I noticed, let's do it cooperatively, he was not okay, first of all. Like, it was a long procedure, basically. And so I noticed he was okay because he wasn't like he didn't know how to say no, and that it's okay to like consent and actually like participate something. And like yeah, like I remember there was one injury where this kind of like I realized that actually he's not that okay when he had like a very tiny little injury at the hoof in summer last year, and he completely freaked out when I was just looking at it. And that's the point when I noticed, okay, maybe he's actually not that fine as he was like pretending to be. And yes, so we started like with touching, as you showed us in the program. And there I already noticed touching was a big issue, or like looking at him was a big issue in the very beginning. And from the point of he didn't want me to like look at him, suddenly just a few weeks later with positive reinforcement, he got like super excited seeing like disinfection spray and like all the medical stuff. He got like excited and walked to me. I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
okay, good. So yeah, that was a really great improvement in a short time period.
Yeah, it's nice how horses can really change their emotional associations with whatever medical equipment you use. First time they see something like disinfection spray or something like this, or a syringe or something, and they freak out because their connection is different, their association with this specific thing. Or maybe when a veterinarian arrives, their connection with the veterinarian is a little bit aversive or a little bit different, but then they really can change their associations if you start training cooperatively. And when you appear with a syringe, or when it's apparent that you want to clean the horse's wound, the horse goes like, yes, please, please do it. And that's the biggest thing about cooperative care. That's what I like the most. And yeah, what was interesting about Freddy was that at the first time, he didn't seem to have any issues with anything, basically. But once you started letting him say no, then he started having issues pretty much with everything. And this is so common because in traditional training, horses usually don't have much choice. They don't have choice to say no to a vet procedure or to a training session or to anything, basically. And they learn that whenever they don't feel like doing something or they don't feel like participating and they say no, that it is usually followed by punishment. And this is sometimes very hard to help the horses learn that they're okay when they actually decide to say no. So yeah, I think this is Freddy's case pretty much, isn't it?
Yes, that's a pretty good summary of what happened. Because yeah, like in the beginning, it looked like he didn't have that many issues. But then it slowly started with me. I wanted to mount him, and he was like saying, no, sorry, no. But that was like before starting the actual cooperative care. But then I noticed, okay, something is wrong with the horse. Like he doesn't want me to get on. Why? Like he's fine once I'm on the horse. And then I was like checking so many things, medical stuff, clinic, veterinarians came, of course. Basically, everyone came and checked. And yes, on the one hand, of course, we found something. But on the other
Like
hand,
some medical problem, right? And
yes,
that was the reason why Freddie decided to say no to riding, was it?
yes, right.
Mm-hmm,
Were
mm-hmm,
like some little inflammations, basically.
mm-hmm.
At the same time, once I like started really focusing and like really started with the cooperative care, it was, in my opinion, not just the medical things, but also just like being scared of everything, being like pressure, not like being able to like relax and to just breathe and stay calm. And I noticed like once you give him the choice, he got scared of like me touching him suddenly, me putting on a saddle pad or like the saddle. He already like backed up and then wandered. So of course, like me mounting him is an issue if like already the saddle pad is an issue. And yes, like step by step working and like taking a lot of time, having a lot of patience until everything works, and just yeah, accepting that okay, we will get to the point again, but now I understand okay, mounting is an issue because everything that goes before that, if even that already is an issue, then of course mounting is our issue. So I don't need to be like surprised, and there's really no point to like, because I know like from before, and I mean I learned the traditional way, using the whip, forcing the horse to stand still, and just ignoring that the horse might just be scared is yeah, just
Yeah, yeah,
not
uh,
the way I want to do it anymore.
yeah.
And to like really take my time, understand okay, I'm listening to the horse. If the horse is saying like, no, for whatever reason, riding is not a good thing to do right now, taking the time, and even if it's months or however it takes for
Yeah.
the horse to understand, okay, that's nothing bad. Like nothing bad is going to happen to you. I want to do it together with the horse and not like force the horse that I can like mount the horse and ride.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And Freddy is still a young horse, and it's normal that he might be still growing. He probably is still growing and getting stronger, so he might need more time. So this is an amazing way of, working with him and letting him grow, letting him mature. And do you think that cooperative care, or this program specifically, Cooperative Care Kick-Start, change the way you see Freddy's behavior or you approach Freddy's training now?
Yes, completely. Like in
Really?
the very beginning, like I learned clicker training, like the default position, just like 2 or 3 months before the start of the training. But that was just like the absolute basics, of course. And then, like with your course, I was able to like, yeah, basically stick to something or like really also have someone to like ask because there are not that many people here using positive reinforcement. And like also understanding, because first I was also wondering, like I asked you the questions a couple of times, like if there's the case that the horse cannot consent, like it's not like the vet is here and the horse can like decide what he's doing. But yeah, that was a very great way of like thinking and understanding, okay, like if I just practice it and he learns that he can say no, and that moment he needs to say yes, it also becomes easier. And that's what I also noticed already in the meantime, that yeah, once you learn and once you like really take your time to like practice everything, like deworming for example, that the horse also stays calm in the moment where you actually need it, because he noticed like, yeah, it's not that bad after all, and it's just a very short time frame and we will make it together basically.
Yeah, yeah. You're not gonna die from me deworming you or something. Yeah, this is something that can really change the relationship between the horse and the human. Do you think that your relationship with Freddy changed somehow after the course or even during the course? Because it was 10 weeks. Now
Yes.
it's even longer. So do you think your relationship changed in some way?
Yes, I think so, because like whenever I'm at the stable, he's like, I mean, he's outside, but also in the stable sometimes. So like once I'm in the stable and he sees me coming, he always has the head up and like looking where I am, and he's waiting that I approach him. And he's like really waiting, okay, come and please pet me and say hi to me and don't ignore me. And like beforehand, he was like not that excited, I guess. Like the excitement was more now that I started with positive reinforcement. And also what I noticed, like as I said, he was like having this like being scared and like of horseback riding, and like just showing like tiny reactions, not like very big things where like that it's obvious for everyone, but like for me it was like with tiny reactions noticeable that he was a bit scared.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like when I do like positive reinforcement and cooperative care, he gets like all excited to work and doesn't want me to stop the session. And he gets like way happier and is not like leaving and is following me and coming with me. And yes, that's a really
Yeah, so
nice.
the behavior changed completely in the way that now he's more happy to just be around you or happy
Yes.
to eat his targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit of his issue because he started biting targets instead of touching them, but you're working through it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's still an issue a bit, because I mean, he just turned 6, so he's a very playful horse and like just super curious, and he likes to like bite everything and wants to eat it. So, yeah, like the first issue was to find a target where even if it happens, it's like not such a big issue. Yeah, we found a dog toy, which is fine if he like takes it in his mouth, but that was a bit difficult to find something where I'm like not scared that he's going to like destroy it. And yes, like he's still learning to not always take it in his mouth and not like always eat it. But like, yeah, he's doing a pretty good job by now. And often it works that he's just touching it. But yeah, sometimes it still happens that he tries to bite it because he just likes to play with the target sometimes.
Yeah, he's a very
Yeah.
playful horse. Yeah, and I really like how creative you are in finding a good target because really you have some kind of dog toy, like a rope chewing toy or something like
Yeah.
this attached to a stick, and it looks like a perfect target for Freddy. Or at least to me, when I'm training with you, it looks quite good. And this reminds me of how creative cooperative care training can be. It is not about following certain recipes, like do it in this way and never try anything else. No, it's just trying to figure out the conversation between you and the horse, and what language can you use, what language can you develop, and how to help your horse understand better what to do and how to use their voice in terms of giving you their consent, and what happens when they say no, what that nothing bad happens actually when they say no. And I like how creative people are when they're training their horses, when they're teaching their horses all of these things. So yeah, I really like the way you solve the target problem. And now tell me, what was the hardest part with Freddy and cooperative care training?
I mean, like, yeah, it started in the very beginning, like touching him, where like the absolute basics suddenly became like extremely hard. Like, of course, I was able to touch him like as usual, but I noticed in that moment, okay, I cannot touch the horse cooperatively. Like the absolute basics didn't work in cooperative care. And that was a very long process until I was able to like touch the horse. But like with that, I was also able to notice, okay, like he didn't want to be touched because he had pain in those areas, of course. But there I was able to like really understand, okay, where is the pain and where should we check again? And yes, then I got treated eventually, or can do it with other things like training, of course. But that was definitely something that I also didn't expect, that it's like so difficult because yeah, like usually I was able to touch him, and like being patient and like waiting and being fine if the horse says no, and then really understanding why. But then like I noticed once we solved, or like he had less pain, then it became easier in that moment. And that's a very great way like to communicate with the horse, to understand, yeah, like we don't have to do it, like we don't have to put on the saddle. We are asking the horse to like what is fine and how can we do it together, and where's the point that maybe today it's not working but maybe tomorrow it's fine again, basically.
That's so amazing. Yeah, that's so amazing. Yeah, we can do it together. And this is, yeah, I think this should be the basis of every human horse relationship. Really, like we are here together, we will do it together. And if we cannot do it today, maybe we will do it tomorrow. Because let's be honest, we sometimes have bad days too, right? It's not like every day we are 100% fit and 100% healthy and, eager to work and everything. Sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we're overwhelmed. Sometimes we are sick or something like this. We have headache or something else hurts us or something, and we just don't have a good day. And we cannot expect our horses to be 100% times ready for us to work with them. The same every day, never spook at anything new. And this is a good way to start seeing the horse in a different light, that maybe the horse isn't naughty. Maybe it's communication. And I like how Freddy really started communicating, because it looks like before he has gone through some traditional training. So even if the training wasn't what we would call abusive, it was just a normal training. Usually horses don't have choice, and they learn to just just shut up, basically. Their communication is being silenced over and over again, and at some point they learn that it doesn't make sense to communicate any further. Sometimes it is not a big deal because when the horse is just a little uncomfortable, they learn to cope with it. They learn to cope with the fact that they have to do something, they have to work. But then when the horse is in pain and they learn that it doesn't make sense to communicate when the pain has just started, then the problem might get worse. So I really liked how Freddy's personality unfolded and how he really started communicating with you and how he really started telling you, I'm not okay with something. And I know that it must have been frustrating because it was like every single week another problem appeared. Like, first it was touching, then it was the bit, the bridle,
Yeah.
So how is Freddy doing now?
Oh, actually, yeah, like the bridle was an interesting thing because, yeah, at the very beginning, he was like, when I bought him, you noticed, yeah, he didn't really like it, but he was accepting it. It was easy to put on the bridle. Eventually, it became like a huge issue, like for the riding to put on the bridle. It didn't work. He was so scared. He walked backwards. I was like, why? Like, he got checked. The veterinarian came, the dentist came. Everything was, according to them, fine. And then you told us, like, during one lesson when I asked you, yeah, like, take off the bit and put on the bridle without the bit and see if it works. And then, yeah, like, as soon as the bit was not there, it was fine. The bridle suddenly no issue anymore. I'm like, okay, then, like, he has to have issues with the teeth, like something, like he has some kind of like pain. And but like it already got checked 3 times previously. And then I asked someone else who came, a new dentist, to check, and she immediately noticed, yeah, there was actually some pain, and she was like, yeah, treating it. And then finally, I noticed from one day to another that he got like way better with the bridle. And there, it's the point also to really listen. Just because 2 or 3 people told you there's nothing doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing. Maybe they just didn't see it, or they focused on something else, who knows. And there, then I took like step by step, showing him the bit, showing him the bridle. And before, he was like running away, like literally running away from the bridle. And now whenever he sees this, he runs to the bridle. So like the opposite. And he, like, if the bit is there, he's like trying to like bite it from like far away, and like trying to play with it suddenly also a bit. So like right the opposite of what happened previously. Of course, it's a long procedure to like show the horse now, okay, if I put on the bridle and it stays there, it's not going to hurt. Like, he still has the pain memory in some cases, of course. But yeah, that's where I said, like, you need to be very patient and take your time and not like rush through it, because now he's excited about the bit. But I don't want like to show him, okay, but even if it stays longer there, you're fine, it's not hurting anymore. So we are working on that step by step, day by day, to like further increase like the time period where he's like having the bit in his mouth and like, yeah, using it, and yeah, getting used to it basically again, and like forgetting the pain memory that he still has.
Nice, nice. Yeah, pain is very complex, and it also has the element of fear, stress, pain memory, and it is sometimes quite hard to get rid of. Yeah, so just like you said, day by day, step by step, and yeah, I hope he will feel better about the bit soon. And here's one interesting thing. Putting the bit in the horse's mouth wasn't a part of this course, but you still are able to use your cooperative skills to teach a completely different behavior. So, do you think cooperative cat training has helped you in your other training, in your riding or mounting or putting on a bridle or a saddle?
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's what I was even like simultaneously doing during the training, during the course, to like even try other things since I noticed, yeah, like he was scared of touching. So of course I was focusing more on touching and not like advancing already and like moving forward because there is no point if like the basics don't work. And of course I mean like also if the deworming, it makes sense to practice deworming. If like no injection is like, if he doesn't need any injection, thankfully, then I don't need to put the focus on that first, but maybe on the deworming because it's just like next in order in spring, for example. And yeah, it was nice that we could also like be a bit flexible and like really practice what is like very important for us. But like now I know like, okay, the next that I have to learn is this. I can go back and check again, okay, how did we learn it and how can I like redo it and like retry and practice it again. So you can basically use it with everything, not just like the things we learned in the course. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. I like that you also use it creatively for your other training because the principles are the same, basically. It's all about making it reinforcing for the horse and helping the horse understand. And then you can use these principles for basically any training. So the same thing that you learn for deworming or injections or maybe hoof care or something, you can apply it to other training as well. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your experience. And is there something else you want to add, or is there something you want to maybe tell our listeners about the course? How did you like it? If you like the support you got, or something like this, is it something you want to share?
Yes, of course. So, first of all, even if you learned like a lot of aversive or like traditional way of doing it, don't be scared to like relearn. Try to self-reflect and understand if it's really what you want to do. Because, yeah, I also learned that the traditional way was always taught to me like that. But at some point, yeah, I was like reflecting myself and I felt like it didn't really feel correct, even if like everyone was doing it like I was doing it. And yeah, like the point of saying, okay, I want to learn something else. Don't be scared to like try and really reach out and understand, okay, how can I do it? Like the partnership with the horse, basically. And just also understand, okay, it might be a bit difficult in the beginning. It's okay if the horse says no, and we shouldn't be frustrated about it. But just, it's not against us. Like, it's not like the horse is not inciting or like wants to offend us. It's just like communication with the horse. So yes, it might take more time. You might need to be like understandable and respectful to the horse, but it's very great if then the horse comes and is like all excited about like about the work and the training and gets like very happy when like the horse sees you, and that's like a very great reward after all.
Oh, that's so nice. So yeah, cooperative care training definitely is rewarding for the people as well, not just for horses. Because when you see that the horse isn't scared anymore and that the horse understands and communicates, that is so rewarding. So what are your plans with Freddy?
First, like still taking my time a bit to like, so like I decided to not ride a few months ago because I felt like if he's saying no to touching, if he's saying no to bridle, to mounting, there's really no point of like forcing him to ride. Because if I'm doing it cooperatively on one day and on the other day I'm forcing him because I just want to mount and to ride, then it's also confusing for the horse, in my opinion. So I decided to like really take my time, do step by step everything, like brushing, grooming, putting on the saddle. And as soon as that works, when I feel like, okay, he's definitely not in pain and he's fine now, he's not scared, to of course then do riding again, and but like with the horse and not like forcing the horse to do it. And that's basically the step by step plan that I.
Yeah, that's so nice. That's so nice. So you decided to take not just one step back, but many, many steps back to
Right.
build proper foundation and to build it cooperatively together with the horse, which is so amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming to my podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I wish you the best of luck with Freddy, because Freddy is really happy to have you. Like, really, I mean it. Because I witnessed his transformation from the horse who was a little bit withdrawn, a little bit, like shut down, we could say, to a horse who now is willing to communicate. Of course, his first communication was no, 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 no in a row, but now he is happy to see you. He is willing to say yes to many different situations, which is great. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast, and hope to see you in some online training, or maybe in person, or maybe in another podcast.
Sure.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You have been listening to the Vet Care Training Podcast. This was a great conversation. I hope you enjoyed it in the same way I did. And if you know someone who needs to listen to this, please share this episode with them. Don't forget to subscribe to never miss any future episodes, and I'll see you in the next one.